I lost my kidney function, due to uncontrolled high blood pressure, which caused me to be on dialysis. And being in the prison in the state of Texas, they don't, even though you being on dialysis, your name is on a nationwide list for a kidney transplant, they don't allow you to get transplants in the state of Texas.
Prison Stories 101. We have another episode, man, where, we have these conversations, and every time we have a different person on, it opens and unlocks a new story that I haven't heard that happens. We have Marcel in. How's it going?
How's it going? What's up?
Man, whenever we do these prison stories, we try to find out the who, what, when, where, and why. Where first and foremost, we want to start off with the who. You introduce yourself, but also tell us how much time you did.
Did 21 years in the state.
21 years state. Where did you serve?
Man, I done served all over the state of Texas. Ferguson unit when it was rocking and rolling. McConnell unit when it was rocking and rolling. Torres unit, gang infested. Estelle unit, drug infested. I discharged from Texas City, Curl Young. Man, I've been all over the state.
And you said when it was rocking and rolling. So when did you serve? When did you go in? When did you get out?
2003.
2003. Oh yeah, yeah.
I just got out to 2024.
Oh, welcome home. First and foremost, welcome home. What was the crime, whether allegedly or whatever you pled on? What was the crime that they hit you for to get you 21 years?
Aggravated robbery and possession of body armor.
Possession of body armor?
Yeah.
Oh, you trying to set it off? Oh, yeah. Can you speak on the crime itself as far as what exactly that entailed?
Well, I was affiliated, with, as you can say, a crime organization. We did commit a lot of different crimes, but the actual crime that I went to prison with, I didn't commit. But because they knew that I was a part, they knew that I knew the individual, they wanted me to snitch on them. I refused to snitch on them, and they did what Texas is known to do. They railroaded them.
How many people was part of this? Who were they looking for? How many other people were they looking for outside of yourself?
Yeah, they were looking for like 7 other people. But they was, better yet, not necessarily looking for them. It's like they knew who they were, but without evidence. You see what I'm saying?
They need you to tie some knots.
And they wanted me to be that evidence right there. They wanted me to be the one to bust their case open for them and tell it on a bunch of people.
I want you to stay right there because it seems like these younger cats, they don't have a sense of like, I'm going to keep it solid, I'm going to keep it stiff. And this is 2003. For you, what was it in you that made you say, I ain't doing no ratting, no snitching, no telling, just give me what you got? Like, what was it for you? Or did you feel like you weren't going to get as much time?
One, no, I didn't feel like I was going to get as much time as I got. I got 2 35-year sentences, ran CC. So I did not expect to get that. Secondly, man, when you growing up, in the hood, from that hood culture, gang affiliation culture, man, when we living in that life, it's just like, it's certain things that we believe in, certain things that we stand by, loyalty. Man, that's like everything, to be loyal, man, that's everything. I'm like, me being loyal to my partners or affiliates and them being loyal to me, man, that's almost, I know family members that ain't loyal to each other, but, hey, we loyal to one another in the streets, because I done seen people get killed with you. I done been in shootouts with you. We done been through a lot together. So, our loyalty and our trust run deep.
So you mentioned the word 35 twice, ran concurrent. Can you break that down for those who don't know what that means?
That means that they gave me 2 35-year sentences. In the justice system, they have the opportunity to either stack them, which means it would go from 35 years to 70, or as they say, they ran them CC, which is concurrent, meaning, although I have 2 35-year sentences, it becomes just 1 35-year sentence.
How old were you when you went in?
21.
Did you have an understanding of the law, the crimes you were committing? Did you even understand what sentence it came with by chance? Like,
to a certain extent, you know. I mean, being in the streets, man, and life and stuff is moving fast. Everything is moving fast. You know, you got so much going on to where, like, you know, just being honest, man, the average youngster in the streets, man, don't know the law. Yeah. They know that, okay, I'm breaking the law, and yeah, it's a risk of me going to jail, but they don't know that this one time right here can take you away for the rest of your life. Not like, you know, 2-3 years or a couple of months or something, like, you know. Yeah. I mean, you know, back in the day when I was coming up, man, you know, real young in the 80s, early 90s, man, I seen my uncles and other associates and stuff go, you know, it was a thing. They would go to prison 18 months, 2 years, and come back home, and like, you know, like it was nothing. Now, you know what I'm talking about, it's a lot different, you know, coming out, you know, coming out the 90s, the gang era and all that. They got so stiff on crime, especially in Texas, to where, like, man, now they trying to hide you. Every time they can get you in their court, they trying to hide you. You know, and a lot of these youngsters, man, they don't realize that until they there.
That's real.
You know, during my time of being in prison, man, I seen a whole bunch of youngsters that, like, hey, man, we was in the streets, they was stiff. You know, they carried big pistols, and, you know, this is how we lived. But once you got behind that wall and the reality set in, that, like, you know, because when they hit me with my time, 35 years, it was just like, and I'm behind the wall, I couldn't even fathom coming home. I couldn't even fathom a release date.
Yeah, you, because you're young, you're thinking you're going to, 35 years, it's like you have to get that out your mind.
Yeah. In order to survive in prison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We try to always speak on the why, meaning when you're sitting in front of that judge and they're about to hit that gavel, for you to understand what were the circumstances in your life for you to be there? What was it that either you were chasing? What did you not have at home? But what was it for you to be like, I'm in this position right here? Why am I? What led me to this moment right here where I'm standing in front of a judge about to give me these football numbers?
I'm going to give you something that probably ain't nobody else, you know, gave you. And that's only because of being real. I got myself in the position of where I'm at, you know, from chasing money. That's just the bottom line. Chasing money. Want more than what my environment has offered me, has given me. You know? Yeah. I mean, that's just the bottom line right there.
Was someone around you that had money that you was trying to match their success, or were you just like, the first, you thought it was easy money, therefore I'm going to just keep getting it?
Well, see, I'm going to tell you like this. Hustling, you know, in my environment, my era, hustling money is cool money. It's cool. That was, man, coming up, man, I seen all the hustlers in the neighborhood, kept a big pocket full of money, kept a new car, kept all the jewelry. You know what I'm saying? They come through the hood, ain't nothing to get kids $20 a piece and all these different things. So us coming up seeing that, that's cool. Now my grandma and them, my mom and them going to work every day, working 2 jobs, coming home, feet swole, you know, tired, just gonna make us something to eat, ready to go to sleep. To me, that's hard money. You know what I'm saying? That's hard. That, you know, that's struggle.
So it's safe to say it was a need, not a necessity, but a want.
A little bit of both. Because I mean, like, you know, I done felt both sides of the tracks. Like, man, when my mama and them, my granny and them was struggling, and, you know, we had to sit in the house sometime, you know what I'm saying, with either no water, you know, she had to sacrifice either the water or the lights. You see what I'm saying? Man, growing up and you seeing that, the only thing in my mind from that point on is, man, I ain't never gonna be like that. I'm never gonna live like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's how, you know what I'm saying, all the kids, you know, we growing up, we seeing those things. That's how we look at it. You know, until some brothers or some people are able to come along and show us a different way and say, man, look, that's the hard way. It might look hard over here, but this is it right here. You get money this way right here, you're going to respect it more, you know what I'm saying, and everything like that. And, you know, it ain't a lot of people around, man, you know, in the hood showing those type of things.
Yeah. And,
you know,
like you mentioned, or like you said, it becoming a need. Did you start living a lifestyle to where you needed the money to now fund the lifestyle that you're living? Because, you know, cars has expensive. When you get an expensive car, it's expensive mechanic work. When you start living that lifestyle, like with the money you were living, were you still keeping it low?
No, I mean, you know, that lifestyle, that's what comes with that lifestyle. Man, when you out there getting that fast money, man, you go from $400-$500 to 2-3 months later, I got $15,000-$20,000 just in the shoebox at the house. I feel like I can go buy what I want when I want. You know, that right there, I don't know. I mean, me just being honest to me, man, that's a drug in itself.
Right.
That lifestyle, that's a drug in itself.
Right. Because I come from that era where they say, oh, the dolphins, and you laugh at them, and they out there chasing that dragon, but we out there worse than them. Mm-hmm. Because we chasing them to come get it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, did the big homies ever sit you down and tell you, you know, it's almost like your parents telling you about the birds and the bees, but instead telling you about the do's and the don'ts. And if you go to prison, if you catch this bid, this was going to happen to you.
Man, I'm going to tell you the honest to God truth, man. I hustled for a long time, man. And, you know, the first time somebody told me, matter of fact, the only two people in my life that told me was my grandfather, you know, to my rest in peace, man. But my grandfather and one of my close, you know, big homies, man, you know. And it was funny for me to hear it from him. You know, man, I'd have been in shootouts with this brother. I'd have been in shootouts with him, man, and I'd heard all kinds of stories, you know, of things that he'd done, and then, you know, people around Dallas were scared of him, but he was the one in the streets that came and told me. And, you know, I believe in warning comes before destruction. Right before I caught my time, right before I caught my case, he came to me and told me, he was like, say, bro, why you doing this? Now, for me to hear him say that, I'm like, man, what's up? And he told me, he was like, bro, you got a newborn child at the house. You got your baby mama, man, you know, down for you. You got, you know, actually got stuff going on, you know, because I was hustling, I'm getting my money, but I'm saving because I got a family to take care of at the house, you know. So, you know, I'm saving all my money. I ain't blowing it on stuff. And it was just something that he saw. And he came to me, he was just like, bro, why you doing this? You don't even need to do this no more. You don't even need to do this. You know what I'm saying? And he told me, he's like, man, you need to leave this alone. And right after he told me that, 2 weeks later, I caught my case.
Can you speak on the morning of you getting arrested? Like, did you see it coming? Did any signs, any telltale signs? Like, walk us through that day. If you don't mind.
Didn't see nothing. I woke up that morning, like I said, I had a newborn son. My baby mama, she had, I guess it's something that, like, you know, some women go through after having a newborn child, and the child keeps them up, and she wasn't getting no sleep, and she just needed some rest. She just needed some rest. So I was like, man, you know what? Before I go out hustling, I'm going to take my son to my mama's house. My mama watching. And she was like, all right. So I got up, put my son in the car, you know, along with everything that I shouldn't have had in the car with my son, you know, and everything. I took him to my mama's house, not knowing that at that time when I was taking my son to my mama's house, the police was already hitting my mama's house for a whole nother reason that didn't have nothing to do with me.
Damn.
And I rolled right into it.
So technically, if you didn't go over there, it might not have went down, at least that way.
Yeah. If I would have never went over there that morning, I would have never went to prison.
Did you get, when they gave you the time frame of 21 years or 35 concurrently,
35 years.
You're 21 years old, did it register in your head right then how much time you're getting? And what did you go through mentally when they said that? Like, not knowing you was going to get that much time.
Like, I feel like it don't register with none of us until we actually down there.
And first of all, did you expect to be innocent or guilty? Like, where were you leaning? Like, I'm going to get found innocent of this. I have a good-ass lawyer. He did a good job. We fought the good fight. Did you feel like they were going to say guilty?
Yes, I did. I felt like they were going to say guilty.
Based on the case that they put up?
No, because of as it was going on, I started to see the injustices in the justice system. And once I started to see those things like that, I already knew, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just saying the justice system is so crooked, but yet at the same time, they so bold. The district attorney was so bold enough, he came, talked to me, sat just like we sitting like this, and told me, if you don't tell me what I want to know, I'm going to make an example out of you. Just like that.
Yeah. And you still like,
yeah,
just do it. Make your example.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So what? Oh, okay. When you did when they did hit you with the 35 cc, for you, you just had a kid.
Yep.
Like, what goes to your head? Like, you have a child at home. Did you just like, you know, y'all ride this with me?
I mean, like I said, man, the reality of the majority of this, it really don't sit in until you there.
How, you mean like day one or like a weekend, a month in, a year in?
Sometimes it's different for different people, you know. I mean, because, man, I done seen dudes get their time nowhere close to what I got. You get them 4 or 5 years and I'm talking about they broke down, that's like the end of their life. But most of the guys that say like that's like me, you know, that's really deep rooted in the streets, you know, have those loyalties and respects, those affiliations and different things like that. It don't really sit in until like you get down there and then it's like after you there and you start to see how you have to live now, the reality set in and things get to playing back and you get to, man, only if I would have did this, or only if I wouldn't have did that, or only if I would have listened, you know what I'm saying? You know, and you go through all those different, you know, one thing that I learned about doing time, your first 5 years, if you have a lot of time like I did, your first 5 years is your worst. Because during those times right there, you trying to
adjust
to doing time, the reality set in, now, you know what I'm talking about, you trying to adjust mentally, you know, and in your heart that, man, look, man, my baby mom finna be gone, you know what I'm saying, in a couple of months, you know, if that, you know, family gonna turn their back on you, or, man, which ones are gonna stay down with me, gonna write me, gonna do it with me, you know.
It's a headache.
You know, and then for some, you just gotta realize, man, look, I'm in this by myself. And that's just that.
So how were you greeted when you first got to the penitentiary?
Which unit did you hit first?
The first unit I hit came in was Torres unit. That was my first ID unit. At that time, man, in 2003, Torres was considered a young unit. It was a gang unit. So, you know, I mean, my big homies had already laced me up before I came to prison. They let me know, look, man, you know, when you get down there, you're going to stay stiff, stay strong, you're going to represent. So that's what it was. So I already had it on my mind, man, as soon as you step off the bus, this is what it is. And boy, Torres Jr., that's what it was. As soon as you step off the bus, they put you in this cage, and you in this cage sitting outside in front of the line building. And we was sitting there probably about like 18, 20 of us. And the unit was going to lunch. You know what I'm saying? Going to chow. And everybody that walked by, what's up, blood? What's up, cuz? Where you from? What neighborhood you from? What city you from? Off the rip. You know, yeah. So it started right then and there. So what you did right then and there determined what was going to happen when you hit the block.
What did you do right then and there? Like, how did you play it? And how were you prepared to play it?
I mean, I was prepared, you know, for what it bring. You know, and hey, man, as soon as they hit me, I'm going to hit them. And that's just what it was. You want to know where I'm from? Man, I'm from South Oak Cliff. What set you from? You know what I'm saying? Fathers Hoover Crip. You know? So that's already understood. So by the time I went and got my mattress, got my lay-in to what wing I'm going to, by the time I got there, they already know who I am. They done already went and told my people.
Yeah, I'm about to say, did you already get, you know, your people are gonna hey,
yeah. They gonna let them know. Say, look, man, y'all got one from y'all neighborhood, from y'all said he come in. This is what he look like. This is what said he going to.
All right, so, you know, this is Prison Stories, so where we, you know, there's 21 years is a plethora of stories, and I appreciate you as far as giving us a little bit. We might go back as far as to what happened and got you in, but I want to jump into some prison stories. But the first one I want to get into, man, if you don't mind, I want you to show the camera your arm, because this is a story that I didn't know was a thing. Let me come down on it. All right. If you don't mind explaining what those scars are, because those are scars that you bore in prison.
Yeah, these scars are from 15 years of doing dialysis in prison.
That's something that no one really thinks of as far as having to take dialysis in prison. So
being in prison,
what happened? What happened here?
During my time in prison, man, I lost my kidney function, you know, due to uncontrolled high blood pressure, which caused me to be on dialysis. And being in prison, in the state of Texas, they don't, even though you being on dialysis, your name is on a nationwide list for a kidney transplant, they don't allow you to have get transplants in the state of Texas.
Do you know why?
They just effed up, if you ask me. But I mean, you know, just like everything else to me, man, it's a money thing.
Well, I look at it like this. If you have a life sentence, that means technically, or, multiple life sentences, you're supposed to die in prison, technically. For you to have 35-year sentence run concurrently, you're supposed to see the light of day. They're supposed to try to keep you alive to get through your sentence, or if not, at least get free labor out of you. I hear that the feds will most likely try to, of course, assist with medical emergencies or things of that nature. But for state, that they will allow you to, like, they almost don't mind you saying, hey, you just got to fight it, or good luck. We'll do the bare minimum, basically.
That's exactly what they're going to do, is the bare minimum. With everything, though. With everything. And then they get more money out of treating you than healing you. If that makes sense. Yeah.
See, TDC, they have their own graveyard. So they don't care if you live or die. They're going to get paid off you regardless. Whether you in the ground or you in the cell. Some people don't even know that their people are gone and been deceased and out there under one of them crosses with no name on it for years until somebody decide to pop up and check on them. So if you ain't got nobody looking out for you, you in trouble.
It's a lot of these units in the state of Texas. They got graveyards in the back of them. In the way back of the fields, way back in the back of them. A lot of these units got graveyards.
They don't ship the body to the family? Like, we going to get...
Man, listen.
They're just not accounted for?
Look, when somebody die in prison, they'll contact whatever family members that's on this information and stuff like that. But they just contact you to let you know, hey, man, your family member died. That's it. But if you want his body, you got to pay them to get it. Yeah.
If you want that body, it's going to cost you 5 to 10 racks to go down there and get it. Other than that, he's going up under a cross with no name on it.
In the field.
Right behind the prison. And when I say it's miles and miles and miles of them, you couldn't even pick out your loved one if you tried.
Well, as we do this, man, I always like to be respectful of time as far as to make sure you got to get to where you're going. And again, this is just an introduction to you as far as there's many more stories you got to get to. But I do want to ask you one thing. As far as for you, if you could just put a pinpoint on it, what for you was the worst thing about prison, 21 years?
The worst thing about prison?
The worst thing, give me two, the worst thing about it as far as overall, and possibly the worst thing you've seen personally.
Man, to be honest with you, man, I'm talking about I can't pinpoint, because the whole thing, man, I could tell you some stuff, man, that like, you know what I'm saying, you wouldn't even believe. Man, when I first started dialysis, I saw at least 1 or 2 inmates die every week for a year straight. I saw more death in there than I did in the streets gangbang.
That's 52 good deaths. At least, bare minimum.
And that was all from, lack of care, lack of education. Man, you'll be surprised how many people literally die just because they don't know. They don't know what they need to do to take care of themselves. And these people are not going to tell them because they don't care. And I mean, that's why I say, like, I can't pinpoint like one thing because it's all the same. When you get in there, that's a whole nother way of life. It's a whole nother way of living. Man, I can take you to some units that like you wouldn't even think that people living like that. Ferguson unit, rock and roll unit. You know what I'm talking about? Everybody on that unit, 99% of the people on that unit are affiliated with something. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, the day room that 160 people on this pod, the day room ain't no bigger than this apartment right here. This whole apartment for 160 folks.
Man.
The toilet that we got in here, the whole day room smell like urine because the toilet that we got in here ain't nothing but a box in this wall right here. You just go up to it and just pee.
Oh, man.
So, I mean, the unit don't have heat. Ain't no such thing as heat, AC, none of that.
Marcel, well, with that being said, this is going to be just part one. We're going to tap into so much more. I just want to do an introduction as far as before we get into these real stories. With that being said, every time we do these prison stories, again, we ain't really gotten to the stories yet, but we always try to leave the youth with a positive message as far as why they don't need to either whether make the mistakes you made or do, to not end up in the penitentiary system. Do you have a message as far as for the young out there that's probably taking penitentiary chances to make sure that they don't end up, serving the kind of time that you serve?
Just take the time to think, man. Just step back and just take the time to think about it. Humble yourself and take the time to think about it. Because the life that I was living back then, that generation, this generation today is 10 times worse, I'm talking about than that. And that's one of the things that we not doing. Hey, man, we just acting. We ain't thinking about the consequences. We ain't thinking about tomorrow. We just reacting. Everything is just a reaction. That's it. You say something I don't like, I'm finna react. You try to get up, I'm finna react. You look at me wrong, I'm finna react. I ain't finna think about it. You know what I'm saying? Because most of the youngsters, I feel like they look at that as a weakness or something. Because if I think about it and I decide not to do it, man, they gonna look at me like I'm a pussy or something, Or they think, they think it's something soft. They gonna try me again. Nah. So everything is just a reaction. That's it. You don't think of zero tolerance. You ain't thinking about nothing. It's a reaction. You're not worried about who you hurt. You're not worried about, what's going to happen tomorrow or nothing. I'm just going to react. I'm going to show whatever this situation is. Nah, it ain't going to go like that no more. So that's what I would advise everybody, man. All the youngsters today, man, just take a second. That's all it takes. Just take a second. Give yourself the opportunity to make a different decision, a better decision.
Come on. Well, there you go. With that being said, man, Marcel, man, 21 years, man. I'm happy you're home. We're going to talk more about, what you've been doing while you got out. But with that being said, this is Prison Stories 101. If you want anyone to follow you or anything, do you have an Instagram or you got any type of social media if they need to follow?
Not at the moment, man. Being gone 21 years, man, I'm still trying to learn and catch on to this stuff, man.
We're gonna take it slow motion then. With that being said, hopefully they picked up something that you putting down, but we're going to have you right back, man. Prison Stories 101, bro. I salute you, all right?